everyone, and welcome to Smells Like Teen Angst. I'm Sarah, and today we are going to talk about the new Pixar movie, Elemental. Elemental takes place in a world where all the elements have come to life. We have earth, air, water, and fire. They all live in a place called Element City. Now, the fire people are the ones who are not very accepted. Earth, water, air, they don't really affect each other that much. They can't really harm each other. However, fire can burn things down. Water can hurt fire. And air just burns it all up together, right? So in this story, we are following a fire family, but mainly the daughter Ember. Ember is first generation of her family in Element City, and so she feels a lot of pressures. I think her story is going to resonate with a lot of people who see it, as far as it coming from a first generation daughter, interracial relationships, as well as the pressures that we put on ourselves to be the best children that we possibly can be. Elemental has a ton of messages, but a lot of it is forging your own path. Ember feels like she has to be the one to take over her father's store when really she has dreams of her own. And this story teaches you to follow those dreams and listen to the voices that support us and not the negative voices in our heads. I really enjoyed the use of tempers being something that's like the Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder, that's trying to tell you something that you're not quite ready to hear. Because I think, again, that's something that all of us can relate to. I really enjoyed the character design of each element. I loved that the water people were very much water signs. There's a little bit of astrology going on in here for sure. And Wade is such a Cancer. And Ember is such an Aries. And I love watching these two characters who couldn't be more polar opposite find common ground and in the end fall in love, because Elemental is very much being billed as Pixar's first rom-com. Now, I don't think it's actually a rom-com, and I don't think a lot of things that are being billed as rom-coms are either, because when it comes to romantic comedies, people forget about the comedy, and instead it's just a romance that happens to have a couple of interesting moments, and that's very much what Elemental is. I will also say that there's a handful of adult jokes that I was not expecting. They kind of talk about sex a handful of times and in ways that I am pretty sure some kids are gonna go home and be like, hey mom, what's hanky panky? So good luck with that.
Nothing weird going on here.
Just a little pruning.
But as far as the actual story goes, I think it's gonna touch a lot of hearts. I love how Ember and Wade teach each other lessons in standing up for yourself, in not looking at emotions negatively, and being able to speak your truth and find what you love and go after your own passions. Elemental City reminded me a lot of Zootopia. So I think the set design on that was not overly creative, but I did like how the whole opening sequence goes where you learn how people travel. I think that was pretty cool. In the end, Elemental was fine. I don't think it's one of the best Pixar movies of all time. I don't think it's one of the worst Pixar movies of all time. It's very much somewhere in the middle. I think it's worth your time to watch, but I don't know if it's worth your time in a theater. That's all I gotta say about that.
You see? He likes it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm Sarah. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, comment, let me know what you think about Elemental, and if you had a favorite character, a favorite element, a favorite scene. And thumbs up this video and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any more angsty videos. Bye!